Good morning. What an awesome time of worship. I hope everyone was able to really take in the messages of those songs. I was thinking about what they were saying combined with a few things that have happened very recently, as in from last night on. One is a conversation I was having with Leah. Something came on a show we were watching, and it was about wisdom, and I felt like, yeah, I'll go ahead and say this. And I admitted that I had been accused of being intelligent, and I have been called clever, which is not always a good thing. But I really hadn't been called wise. I don't know that I've ever been accused of being wise. And that's because, as one friend put it, I was the smartest stupid person she knew. Because I made a lot of choices that didn't show much in the way of wisdom. And I reacted to choices other people made in ways that didn't show wisdom. I could think of some really clever things to do sometimes, but not very wise. And my choices and my reactions to other people's choices and this, that, and the other put me in places and situations that I shouldn't have been in. And there were times that I despaired of life. And I'm thinking about that and some of the things that we sang. Declaring that God has always been a friend. That He's always come through. He's never let me down. The enemy or some part of my old nature can rise up in moments like that and say, well, I remember when it didn't seem like He was there then. When He let you do that. Or when He let that happen. Always come through. Do you really believe that? Do you really believe that He was always a friend? That you've never known love like this before? That all you've ever known is the love of God? Because I can definitely remember plenty of times where I did not feel or think that I had the love of God. So how can I sing that I've never known anything else? Because not everything I feel and not everything I think is necessarily true. And if you look at known as experienced, it changes a lot of things there, because all I have ever experienced is the love of God, even when I didn't feel like it, even when I didn't think that's what I had. Some people made some stupid choices that brought wreckage into my life. I made a lot more that brought a lot more wreckage into my life and into the lives of others. And I have a tendency to have a pretty shallow line of how much stupid I'm willing to put up with in somebody else. To be honest, I don't put up with it in myself very much, but there comes a point in time when I'm just like, you got yourself into that mess. Have fun. And God probably should have done that to me before I turned 10. But He didn't. See, it doesn't matter if this situation didn't happen or get handled the way I wanted, the when I wanted, etc. God looked past all our stupid. God looked past our open rebellion. God looked past all the damage we did to ourselves and all the damage we did to others. God looked past our brokenness. And in one sense, he didn't look past it at all because it's what he saw and he wanted to change. But in another sense, he looked past it because he did not hold it against us. He wrapped himself in flesh, and he came and he did what we were always supposed to do. Not do damage. He didn't bring destruction into anybody's life. Not a human's anyway. The devil got some destruction. But he didn't bring destruction into anybody's life. He didn't bring wreckage into anybody's life. He loved God with everything he was, and he loved other people more than himself. Always the perfect motive. Always the perfect thing. That standard we can never live up to. He did it, and then he died for us. Because he loves us as we are, not as we should be, but he loved us enough not to leave us as we were. So he came through to make a way for us to be healed and restored and made new, no matter what we've done, no matter what's been done to us, no matter anything. New life, restoration, freedom. You don't have to despair of life because you can have a life worth living because Jesus died for you. That is coming through. And if that was all there was to it, that would be enough. More than enough. More than we deserve. More than we should expect. Every wound healed. Every scar made beautiful. Every moment of injustice paid for with justice. Mine and yours. So I still had that wreck. But the cross. But the cross. A friend that would die for the friend who was stabbing him in the back. And he knew it. A friend who would die for the enemy who hated him. And he knew it. The one who has all healing and all power and says, I give it to you. Freely. Just trust in what I did. Just remember who I am, that I love you, and that I bled for you, and that I am not dead. He is risen. He is risen indeed, because the grave couldn't hold him. Freedom, healing, restoration, life worth living, because we have a friend who has always been a friend, who has always come through. And you will never know a better love than this love.